Does my hair look okay? I'm at that stage of the hair, my hair stage. Every time you see me, my hair is gonna be different, so just a little warning.
At least you have it.
I was just saying, yeah. My dad was bald by the time he was 21.
I used to have real long hair in the '80s. I mean, real long hair.
Didn't we all?
And then in the early '90s, I cut it real short, and it was the best thing I ever did. And that's what I had up until recently. We're recording. I can't tell you the story. So I'm having difficulties getting my hair cut. That's all I can say. Okay, good evening, everybody. This evening, I was asked to do a presentation on packet radio. This is not gonna be an introduction. I've done introductions several times already, but if anybody has questions on introduction of packet radio, feel free to talk to me after the meeting. This is more geared for those already running packet radio, especially WInlink, okay? Or WInlink using packet radio, AX25 packet radio. So, see, my slideshow's not running now. How can I start my slideshow?
Well,
What is this?
yeah.
Okay, I'm guessing that's it. Okay, for those using packet radio, there's,
Brian, is there any way you can make your screen bigger?
Well, no, because he's showing both pieces.
yeah, that's what I was doing.
Oh,
Actually, let's do, whoops.
well, you know what? You can get rid of the list of people over there on the right-hand side.
Oh,
Yeah, you can get rid of your participants view.
I don't have participants.
There you go. Oh, that was you that was doing it.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
then.
I don't have full screen, that's the problem.
Yeah, and you probably won't be able to do full screen because then you're gonna lose what you're seeing.
Yeah, because I'm gonna bring WinLink up so I can demonstrate.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Technically, what I'm doing here, I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm doing this as well. Instead of having a live packet station here at the firehouse, the meeting room, I'm controlling my packet station at home. So I'm remoted into my home PC, which is running this slideshow, and then I'm gonna be bringing up WinLink. So let me, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, that's.
Oh,
this is the slide I should have started with. Okay. So those of you using AX25 packet.
Sorry.
I need to share, no.
Yeah.
Should I stop sharing?
Nope.
No,
nope,
we got it.
fine.
Okay. For those of you using AX25 packet or WinLink in North Delaware, there's a couple frequencies that we're using. 14507 in Newcastle, and also Delaware County. The Newcastle node and the Delaware County node are connected via RF. In North Delaware, you should be able to access node Aston with call sign entry IP-7 directly. Down here in Newcastle, it's NCDE KA3VSP-7. Okay, they're network nodes connected via RF. In North Delaware, Calleyville area, probably Hockessin, you should be able to also connect to Mel node N3MEL and 14509. Okay, so they're network nodes that you should be able to connect to, and I'll explain the purpose of those nodes here shortly. And I'll do a live demonstration as well, navigating the nodes and what it looks like and what you can do with them. If you can't connect to either Aston or NCDE directly, W3DRA-7 is a K node, okay, that you can connect to that has great coverage. And it should be able to connect both of these directly. So if you connect the W3DRA-7, once it connects, then you do a connect to NCDE or Aston.
Is that the same frequency -7 that we use for -10? Or is it a
No.
different frequency? Okay.
No, it's a different SSID. It's the same TNC, okay? W3DRA-10 is the WInlink RMS server, okay, for the DRA. On the same hardware is W3DRA-7. Okay, it's running on a Cantronics KPC3 TNC, and it's if W3DRA-10 goes down, W3DRA-7 should still be up and running because it's hardware based, not software. So if you're trying to connect to W3DRA-10 and it's not there, you can use W3DRA-7 as a digipeater, and I'll be demonstrating that here momentarily. Okay. For connection to your TNCs, whether it's a hardware TNC or a soft modem, you should already be using some type of terminal program. If you're only using WInlink, WInlink has a built-in simple terminal program, which I'll demonstrate. And it's available on your C drive under the RMS Express folder. And then, of course, if you're using the soft modem, Direwolf or UZ7HO, they have their own terminal programs. UZ7HO, which I promote for Windows, and it was recently ported for Linux as well, uses the Easy terminal.
That's nice.
Now, I can demonstrate those during the CARES Tuesday meetings, WInlink digital meetings. If anybody's interested in scheduling anything like that, they can go over setup or get started with that. All right. So that's where I wanted to start. So let's go back. All right, let's talk about WInlink. You're using WInlink only. You don't do anything else with AX25. You don't have a terminal program or anything. Under your C drive, can't see. See RMS Express. Open that folder up. A little bit. Then down below, scroll down and you'll see RMS Simple Terminal. Okay, you really can't see that down there, but it'll say RMS Simple Terminal. This is a simple terminal program if you're only using WInlink Express. If you open this up, there's some setup in here under setup. And it's going to ask you how do you want to connect. If you have a serial connection, a COM port off of your PC to your radio, which is most common, that's where you'll need to configure that here. You'll need to know what COM port you're connected to. And if you need to find that out, you can use Device Manager. If you go to Start, Windows on Start, and select Device Manager, scrolling down, you'll come to ports and COM ports, and you'll see COM ports listed here. If you disconnect your PC from your radio, one of those COM ports are going to go away. Plug it back in and it'll pop back up. That's the COM port you're going to need to use. Mine in this case is COM 10 or COM 9. And I already know I'm using COM 10, so I'm not going to worry about it. But that's how you find your COM port on Windows.
Question, please.
Yes.
If I'm using a digirig, that's the digirig COM port.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, one other thing, you might want to select this local echo. This option right here. Okay, that just adds an echo line. So anything you type and hit enter, it'll go down to the next line. Otherwise, it'll just keep going across the terminal. Okay, once all that's set up, you click update and then you'll see your COM port here says closed, but right next to it is connect. I'm going to connect to that. And it's going to go to COM10 open. That means I'm open, connected. And if I hit enter, I should see a command prompt, CMD prompt. Okay. Down here, the bottom is where you enter your instructions. What do you want to do? Okay, so I'm connected to my TNC at home. I want to connect to NCDE. So I type C space NCDE and hit enter. Then you'll say connected to NCDE and you'll come up with a little welcome and then a line of options that you can take, that you can do. Most nodes, now I'm connected to what's called a node, a network node, NCDE, Newcastle, Delaware. And these are the options that I can use for the next steps. Some of these options like ports, a little bit advanced for right now. They'll get into when you're node hopping, you'll need to know what port you want to go in or out of. If you do type P for ports, it'll show you the ports that are available on that node and the port numbers. Okay, you can see port 1 is 145070. Then you got a couple backbones. You have a telnet port. You have an HF barra backbone.
Is there a default port
What do you mean? For what?
for that this connects to automatically?
Well, you're connected on port 1,
Okay.
whichever port you've connected to. So I'm on 14507, so that's where I'm at now. All right. Also, if you type info, some nodes will give you a little bit of an introduction. This is the website, depn.net, for the Delaware Packet Network. And some information in there of what it is, what they're doing. You also have BBS and Worldwide Chat Server, which we can get into later. But what I want to do is connect. So I want to connect W3DRA-7. And now I'm connecting to the K node at W3DRA-7. Oh, I'm sorry. Need a download link. I just told you don't need to know that. So I want to go out on port 1 because I know that's where W3DRA is. Because it's also on the same frequency. So I want to do a connect space 1 space W3DRA-7. And right now my station's connecting. It just connected to DRA-7, which is a K node. Again, a little bit of a welcome letter, and this is your command help. You can also do a question mark or type help for more information. And of course, you can type B for bot. Okay, so I'm disconnected and so I want to reconnect to NCDE. So connect NCDE. Okay, and I'm connected back to the Newcastle, Delaware node. If I type N for nodes, this is going to pull up a list of nodes that are connected via RF or other means to the Newcastle, Delaware. And I'm going to have a screenshot. I can share this to the club later, so you'll be able to get a good look at this. Because some of these nodes here, and this list will change depending on propagation and node broadcast, quality of broadcast. This list is automatically populated by what's called node broadcast. And this is usually on a backbone frequency or other means. But what I wanted to show you was some of these have an RMS. Okay, there's PHB RMS, MEL RMS. Okay, most of them were -10 or -11. Okay, that's what I wanted to point out here for WinLink users. Say W3DRA-10 goes down. Now, there's other options that you can use. Let's go back to the screen. Okay, there's 3 different ways to connect to an RMS server. You can connect direct as usual. Let me bring my RMS up. My, I'm sorry, WinLink Express. And now AX25 is just one of the options here. As you can see, there you can do Telnet, which is over the internet, Packet, PACTOR, RDOP, Vara FM or HF. But we want to do WinLink, a packet WinLink. So we're going to click that, and we're going to open our session. And this item here, connection type, if you pull that down, you have 3 options: direct, digipeater, or script. Okay, direct is what most people do. They just connect directly to the RMS server, send or receive their messages, then they disconnect. There's also digipeater. You can select here, okay, and you notice these 2 little windows here are available now for you to enter items in. If you go direct, they're sort of grayed out. You can't enter anything in. So if you want to go digipeater, okay, a W3DRA-10 is down for whatever reason. You know that there's another system in Jersey, in Vineland, New Jersey. You may be able to connect directly. It's got great coverage. But what if you can't connect? You can use a digipeater. You can use up to 2 digipeaters with this. If you know a digipeater alias or call sign, you can enter that here. And I'll show you how to find that digipeater here. If you monitor packets in your terminal program, type monitor on or M space on, you'll start seeing broadcasts on your frequency. You'll see things like this, an ID, and then you'll see other things below it. You'll see W3DRA-10/R. That's actually the WinLink RMS server. You'll see relay. Relay is always the digipeater for WinLink RMS stations. That's the default. And then you have a node, W3DRA-7. Even though W3DRA-7 is a node, K node, Cantronics TNCs have a capability of any SSID, in other words, -7 or -10 or -1 that's currently configured in the TNC can be used for digipeating. So in this case here, we can use -7 or relay. So let's go back over to WinLink.
Check's call sign on you. You were checking your mail.
I'm sorry, I want to connect again. I just told you about monitor in your terminal program. If you type M space on, that turns the monitor on. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm still on the node. M space on, it'll say monitor was on or monitor was off. So anything that happens on 14507 or whatever 2-meter frequency or UHF frequency you're on, you should start to see that. That's live packets coming through on that frequency. Okay, that's actually from the MCB, the KA3VSP-1 BBS. M space off will turn that monitor off so you don't see anything. If you see activity on your 2-meter radio or whatever, but you're not seeing anything here in your terminal, turn your monitor on. Okay, I'm going to disconnect from here now, from the simple terminal. Again, this is a sample of what you'll see as far as broadcasts on a frequency. All right, so and that's where you'll collect your information. Chet's K node is WA3I-7. His PBS personal mailbox is WA3I-1. Chet, you don't have a digipeater configured right now. Otherwise, you'll see.
What's the story?
You'll see.
Broken.
You'll see his call sign /D for digipeater.
Each team antenna was positive. We're not gonna digitally too many folks.
So kind of what you're trying to do here is you're trying to get to a WInlink RMS through a digipeater. You're showing the digipeters on the monitor program.
Right,
Can you use a WInlink RMS physical digipeater?
yes,
Okay.
if it's configured that way, and typically. Like, I can't speak for other RMS servers. Stephen, what TNCs or soft modems do you use for your WInlink RMS servers?
Most of them are D710s, and we use the internal, and we also use the audio, DRA Master Communications audio portion, Vera FM and the sound mode.
Okay, so sound modems, okay. All right, but yes, it depends on how it's configured.
Okay, but it's not inherent in RMS packet, the program itself.
No,
Okay.
no. So let's go back over to packet WinLink. Okay, so you see our second selection is digipeater. I want to connect to I'm drawing a blank on the.
The one in New Jersey?
Yeah, what's that
Well,
one?
go to channel selection, you can pick it from there. I think you type
Oh,
it in.
right, okay, channel,
Your slide.
right, channel selection will show you that. So you want to come down to KC2TXP. Some of these are, even though they're local, like the W2KDF, I can't connect to.
No, I've never been able to.
Okay.
Like my Delta. Mullet.
Yeah, but they're not as strong as the others.
Yeah.
Right. So I always recommend W3DRA-10 or KC2TXP-10. So once you select that, I'm going to go where it says direct, I'm going to go digipeater. And I'm going to put in either relay. Okay, because all WinLink stations use relays and digipeater, or you can use the N3DRA-7, what I recommend, or W3DRA-7. And then I'm going to start, I'm going to connect.
Yeah, we've never used the 7 when we've done this, our CARES training and stuff. We've always do digipede from the Jersey station to the -10.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't even know about the -7.
Yeah. So you see the connection being made to the Vineland, New Jersey WinLink station, and it's just going to go through. I'm not going to have any mail. And remember, this is 1,200 baud packet, so it's not as quick as Telnet.
Plus, the more digipeters you have, the slower it's gonna, the longer it's gonna take.
Right.
Anything will be slower than direct, yeah.
Okay, so that's disconnect. So that's connecting to a local RMS server with digipeating. If you can't connect directly, you could always go to W3DRA-7 and then connect from there. Again, when W3DRA-10 is down, W3DRA-7 should still be up because it's a hardware TNC.
It's good to know.
The third option is script. And that's where the AX25 packet network comes in at. Remember all those,
List of those, you know.
right, the list of those with the RMS in it. Those things there, you should make a note of anything with an RMS on it. And again, you can use your simple terminal or whatever terminal program, go into frequency, connect to the local AX25 network node, either MCDE, Aston, or Mel node in Chester County. Find anything with an RMS and then make a note of that. All you need is either the call sign and the SSID or the alias. That's all you need to know.
Oh, no.
All right, so we're gonna go back to WinLink. And here I have script set. And I have a number of scripts. I can pull down a number of scripts here.
Or you can save these just like what if you're using favorite station,
Yes.
okay,
So how you do a script? You add a script,
okay,
comes up, you add a name. And then you type in the instructions of the script, and I'll run through the instructions now. Then once all that's done, you'll save. Actually, let's do test. Now RMS. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is type C for connect, NCDE. Then you want to type CONN. Then you want to type C MEL RMS. That's the alias for the MEL RMS in Chester County. Then you type CONN again. Then you click save. You notice it's up there. The idea of the script. The first one's obvious. You're connecting to your local network node, which is NCDE, or Aston, or any other AX25 node that you can connect to. The CONN it's waiting. It's waiting to connect. It's waiting for that line that says connected to. Okay, now some nodes and some TNCs don't fully say connection. Some will just say CONN. Most of them say connected. It's looking for CONN before it executes the next instruction, which is connect MEL RMS. Then you type connect again. And then once it's done there, that's the handshaking. Okay, and once that's set up, you have script selected up here. You have your script selected here, and then you click start. First is connected NCDE. It's connected. See, there's the CONN that it waited for. It's running the script. It's sending, and there's your connection.
and the benefit of using script is what?
It's allowing you to use, okay,
A node that we couldn't have back.
that's correct. You can write a script to go be past 2 digipeaters. You can keep going right down. You can add as many as you want in a script. But for the AX25 network, okay, for RMSs that you can't connect to, some of these are in other states. But with the AX25 network, you'll be able to connect them. That's what I'm stressing here.
Mhm.
It's another option to send. Okay, so that's sent and now it's successful.
Okay, let me ask you a question too. So an application, when we do MCOM and we have 3 or 4 different people who need to be getting into their WInlink, and we only have one DRA-10 frequency. The script and accessing the nodes, like what you're showing us, can help alleviate the stress on the system.
It could, because you're not using DRA. We're connecting right to my NCDE AX25 node in Newcastle. And then it's connecting with however the script is set.
Yeah, so it helps alleviate all the traffic. That's one of the problems that we have when we're doing practice stuff. Yeah,
But it's still connected to RF, is it not?
Yeah,
Yes.
so overall, all 107 would still be
Yeah.
separate each other frequencies.
It's a different frequency than 070?
Yes,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Mel RMS is on 14509. Okay, but I have scripts for all different types of RMS servers.
But the packet node that you're connecting through can, it handle traffic to multiple RMSs simultaneously.
It can.
Yes, exactly. That's what you're speaking of in terms of alleviating the traffic load.
Mhm.
That's the issue. The packet network doesn't have that one-to-one relationship like an end client does to an RMS.
Right. And it's just, okay. One thing about the AX25 network nodes is that we're moving towards strictly RF based, and we're all on emergency power. Okay, so we're not relying on commercial services. And if a system goes down locally, this will get you back out. We're also, Glenn is heading up grid down exercise this coming spring. And our next meeting is March 1st. Is that correct? This Saturday? And so I already announced it on the Delaware section email group, and I think I posted on the First State group. But there'll be more information. And I can share that link probably tomorrow for the Saturday evening meeting if you would like to attend. And it's a grid down exercise. I'll show you the map of what we've done in the past. Well, I started in 2017, but it's grown unbelievably. So I'll show that in a couple minutes.
Brian, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Do you have any examples, or maybe it's on the website, I don't know, but the scripting, everything you just articulated is awesome. Examples of how the scripts would be if you're trying to connect to somebody, say, 2 states away or at an RMS station. You mentioned a couple of different states, like it looks to be, I don't know, if there's Florida, Boston or something up there.
Yeah,
But
well,
you stepped off, you went through that script off the top of your head, but like on the website, do you have an example of like?
I don't have an example, but I can bring those up. Basically, the thought of the script is you're just literally typing in what you would type in
Right,
when you node hop.
right. So I guess it's understanding like, and I'm like still trying to wrap my head around, I mean, I did packing years ago, and I'm obviously active in WInlink. But in terms of the commands to do the node hop. So like, you know what I mean, even if there was a little document, like scenario, you live in North Wilmington, you're trying to connect to somebody in Virginia. You know, these are the commands that you would do. This is obviously they need to use that to build the script.
Well, some of those out of state ones, when you connect to Brian on ARF here on 07, we connect to his station. And then you pick a node that's in Virginia or Florida or something like that.
Yeah,
That's gonna go out over the internet.
Okay.
From Brian's station, because there isn't going to be an RF link, right?
yeah,
So it's gonna go out over AXIP, but what we're working on changing is. You know, I don't have anything against the internet, but it's not what we should rely on, right? So if it's working, why not use
yeah.
it? It's a tool in the
Right,
toolbox,
work
right?
that one, right.
But what we're trying to do is a lot of us have picked up and we've added Arden to the back end of our BBSs now. So
Oh.
instead of, it's still the internet at the end of the day, but at least it's a ham radio, 10 private network,
Right,
ham radio based. And we're using that. And then what Brian will show you here in a couple minutes, we're building out an HF RF backbone. So you would be able to go Brian's 2-meter station. He would be able to connect to my station that would go out over HF, 40 meters, 80 meters, wherever it is, and connect to an RMS. Yeah, so that's what we're building up. We're not trying to replace WinLink, but we're trying to have a backup
Yeah,
to WinLink. So if the CMS servers for WinLink go down,
Right,
and then you're kind of stuck.
right.
So what we're trying to do is give you a packet option that we could go out of region to where the internet might be working somewhere and you can get into the CMS for WinLink. And that's the beauty of packet, whereas the BBS and all that stuff is really great and there's a real use for it. With the advent of Vera now, the Vera FM and Vera HF, you can do X25 faster.
yeah.
So we're building it out and it's coming along pretty good. We're trying to get away from the internet. That's the whole reason for the grid down exercise. And it really is all based on, what happened in North Carolina and the problems that they had, and we're trying to come up with a.
Saturday night's meeting, you're gonna be talking more about the grid down on Saturday night?
Yes, Glenn had
That's
said.
what the meeting is about.
Glenn's the emergency coordinator for Chester County. Fred, you're Camden County Emergency Coordinator?
Deputy Emergency Coordinator, Camden County.
Okay, and we're all together, we're joining our forces and helping each other, so.
Yeah, thank you guys for the hard work, it's all.
And John, I just Googled your question and here's your list.
Awesome.
So it does, I'll share this link in an email, when I post this session, and you have a recording, right?
I'm recording
okay.
everything, yeah. I
So,
can share the Zoom link with you.
but it talks about all your connections and scripting and everything like that.
Awesome.
So, and this is probably one of many websites
Okay.
that talk about that.
Awesome.
So let's go back, if I can find my way, okay, I just created an outbox message for Wendy. And I'm gonna send that through Glenn's RMS system in Chester County.
Okay, yeah, because I can have that one link on here.
And regarding, you guys, Glenn, you were just saying about the internet with the CMS stations are down and you can't connect them. Steven and I were doing some stuff with using TXB-10 to do peer-to-peer WinLink. And he's in Milford and I'm off in David Road, so we're pretty far away from each other, but we're able to hit that digipeater New Jersey to do peer-to-peer.
Yeah, well, what we did in Chester County for WinLink, we don't rely on the WinLink network. We put up a post office in our EOC and we have a very robust Vera FM network with a couple of high profile digipeaters.
Mhm.
So you send all your messages like it's a regular WinLink message,
Yeah,
but you connect to our EOC and it actually sits there and waits for other users to pick it up or do whatever. And then if we need to send a message out from the
Right.
EOC, then it just connects over Vera FM to one of the local gateways and sends it out over the network.
now is that WinLink relay that you're using there on the videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last thing I have to turn on, I like.
Yeah, you use that and that's the connection, but then you use RMS packet. That becomes the CMS, if you will. And then it has all kinds of permissions and, you can let people in or not in or whatever you want to do with it, so. Works very nicely and it really works great with the Vera FM network, man, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Just responded back to you.
Thank you. Because they're tunneled together. We don't have an RF connection over R.
I see.
So you have to tunnel.
Please require to an R.
Yeah.
And this is our current RF connections,
HF.
HF over HF Barrow. So there's N3MEL, there's KA3VSP Newcastle. The Aston node isn't connected via HF, so it's not shown. But that's where we're at.
And the rings are all, the whole network's built on NVIS. 40-meter daytime, 80-meter nighttime, and they're 200-mile rings around each of those stations. And you can see we can go from northern Maine to southern Florida on with HF hops now. And then you can shut them off, and you can see the Arden network. If you click Arden over there in the box, it'll bring up the Arden connections that we have. And that's growing, so that's how we're linking in now. Like the guys on the West Coast want to be part of this, but obviously we don't have an HF connection to them yet. But so we're doing an Arden connection, and they're building what we're doing on the East Coast, they're starting to do on the West Coast. And we're kind of slowly filling in the middle, so it's been a 3-year project, but it's coming, and it's all based off of packet radio X25. And BBQ just controls everything. And it's linking all this stuff together over RF.
Okay, and the Delaware Packet Network, DEPN.net. This is where you can go to look at what we're doing. We also run a monthly net meeting the second Saturday of each month. Next one is March 8th coming up. We take the July and August off, but every other month we're here at 7 o'clock local time. And we have stations, mostly sysops from, actually it's growing all over the country technically. But we also invite new users or anybody that needs assistance to come and join us, and we'll help them out via Zoom. So DEPN.net is the website. We have a mailing list you can join for meeting announcements. I don't announce anything over the internet. Everything's by email or packet invite. Okay, and that's everything I have for this evening. Does anybody have any questions on anything that was covered? If you do, you can email me, KA3VSP@ARL.net, or via the DEPN website with any questions, or if you need help with anything, especially getting started. We're trying to get as many people back on packet as possible, and it's growing. It's grown over the years, so.
It's so much easier now. If you're already running WinLink, you're just a software program away from being on packet.
If you're
You've already
running,
got the sound modem, you already got everything you need, and the software, it's all free stuff, it's all shareware or freeware. You can be on packet, and like I say, we're not trying to replace WinLink, but we see some flaws in WinLink, and one of the flaws is with all the plans that I've seen with WinLink, that if the internet's down or the CMS goes away, there's no plan B. Other than, yeah, sure, we can go peer-to-peer on HF with WinLink, and then the message is only making a one hop, there's no place for it to go. For packet radio being text-based, and as the network starts to build out, you can send messages to regions, to states, to around the world, whatever you want to do on with packet, and it's just resurgent. It's it's like everything else we do. It comes back around, and Vera, like I say, Vera modem has really spun packet back up because it's not the old 300 baud, slow, takes forever, maybe you can't even connect kind of deal. I mean, there's connections that we make with Vera HF, but you can't even see the connection signal in the waterfall, but it's still making the connect and moving the data. So it's pretty slick where it's all going, and it's bringing them all together. I mean, all the modes, Arden, RDOT, WinLink, they're all able to join themselves and interconnect using BPQ as the backbone. And it's growing. It's great, gaining some interest.
And for those of you who are maybe interested in starting, if you have a Windows PC, I recommend UZ7HO sound modem and terminal program. Basically, if you have a signal link or if your HF rig or radio has a USB for COM port, you technically already have everything. You just need to download a couple applications, Easy Term, the sound modem application, and maybe the PTT DLL driver. Okay, and that's technically all you need. It's free software. And then if you Google WinLink and UZ7HO, it's got step-by-step instructions on how to download everything and set everything up. And I can help you with this as well.
I worry about that old boy because he's in Ukraine.
Yeah,
And I've talked to him quite a bit.
okay,
He's doing okay so far.
yep. Yep. So really good software. It's recently been ported over to Linux, but I have not fooled with that yet. So any demonstrations I'm doing right now are still Windows. So, but people have been using it on Linux, so I'm sure it's not too difficult.
That means you could run it on a Raspberry Pi?
Possibly, yeah.
My whole BBQ node runs on a Raspberry Pi and it's because of the network and all the stuff we're doing, it's controlling two Windows boxes that are running all the variants and my 7300 and all that stuff all controlled by the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, all my stuff's running, well, the NCPE is running on Windows 11 right now. But my other nodes are running on Ubuntu server. So. Any questions?
You.
Yeah, anybody needs any help, feel free to reach out. I'll email some links to the club email group sometime tomorrow. Links that I can cover here, if everybody will have all that. All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.